Right, here to debate the issue is Sue Atkins, who is anti-smacking in the campaign for Real Education's Kate Ivens, who says that parents need to feel free to smack. We were talking about this morning, ladies. Huge debate, a contentious issue. We'll start with you. My problem, Sue, is... Well, not my problem. Let's explain it. You don't think you should smack a child at all?
I don't think you need to start off like that, because where do you start? When they're babies, when they're toddlers, when they're 16 and they're taller than you, and they go, that didn't hurt? There are so many other things that you could do. Of course you need firm, fair, consistent boundaries. Of course children do. But you don't need to start by smacking them, because you do damage their self-esteem and you can traumatise them.
Is it always wrong? I think the thing about smacking is, in order to be clear, because there's so many interpretations of what a smack is, people feel they have to come down on one side or another.
Yeah.
Is it always wrong?
Well, it's very difficult. I don't like the idea of hurting a child or hitting a child. You know, a child runs into the road and you see a mum going, oh, don't you do that again.
But is there not a difference? I mean, look, we've got a latest Twitter poll, Good Morning Britain results revealing that 54% of you believe it's OK to smack a child to discipline them. 46% think it's not. Let's bring you in, Kate. You are saying, what? It should be the ultimate punishment, or it should be a regular part of discipline?
I'm saying that we have tactile relationship with our children. We hug them, we kiss them, we breastfeed them, and so on. And there are times when, like the child running out to the road, I remember when my children did that, and I shot them right. Never you do this again. After that, my children used to run freely down the road with complete freedom, and they always stopped at the curve. Always, always. And there were occasions
did you do
when...
that shake? Did you do that physical shake?
Deliberately, yes.
Because you would thought, this is the best way to stop my child going to the road again? Or did you do it because you were full of panic? Yeah. Full of fear, and in some cases full of anger.
But you can't have thought that through, because you didn't know they were going to run to the road. The point Kate made in the meeting this morning is, how many parents not lose it, but get to a point where suddenly do that?
No, I thought...
And that's dangerous,
I thought it through. I knew because I did it with both my boys.
So if you run such a road, nothing gets through.
No, I stopped them there, on the curb. Right like that, to stop them ever doing it. And after that, they were completely free on the streets. I wanted my children to be free. I wanted them to make their own judgment. And occasionally, hardly ever, I did this.
So it worked,
but
it worked.
Well, but the problem is with smacking is, where do you start and when do you stop? And when, if it's hard and what if you're angry and you actually lose the plot and you smack a child, and then they look at you because you're... But listen, can I just say this then? Right, if I used to be a deputy head and class teacher for 25 years, so if a child hits another child in the playground, you say, oh, that's aggression. If an adult hits another adult in a pub, say, or out and about, you say, oh, that's assault. But if I hit, or somebody, you know, your parent hits a child, oh, no, that's all right, that's discipline.
It's fair enough, isn't it? What are we actually teaching them? That violence is a way to resolve problems?
I don't think you're being... When you do that, I don't think you're actually being violent. I think you are making a tactile contact with your child.
Because of the politically
but if you go like this, you are being violent.
The problem is, what is that? Is that a clip behind the ear? Is it... I mean, I've been in the supermarket and seen a woman whack this child and leave, you know, marks on the back of his legs, terribly uncomfortable.
And if you do that in public, what are you doing?
But I probably got a clip round the ear when I was a kid. I'm being serious. Don't say I deserve it.
No, I'm not going to say that.
No, but did you get a clip round the ear when you were a kid?
No.
Did you?
No.
Not round here.
My mum...
Did I get a smack? Yes, I did got a smack. And I remember my mother saying to my father, we're going to stop smacking. This is ridiculous. This has got to stop. And they never smacked me. All they did was reason with me. But there's a point at which, with a small child, there's a point at which you cannot reason with them.
No, and that's why you mustn't hit them.
No, you can do that. And then you say, oh, but I love you, I didn't know what you did.
And then they look at you in fear.
No, they don't look at you in fear.
Well, I work with an awful lot of parents. Well, I work with hundreds of parents in my work as a parenting, you know, with families.
I run an educational charity and I work with lots of parents.
Okay.
I don't want you to keep arguing.
But I don't like the idea of hurting children. I think my point is there are very, very many other ways that you can discipline a child, and you need to discipline a child.
Final question to you. If those other ways, which I think we'd all agree, do not work, and I take Kate's point from earlier, it's a brilliant point, when you get to the point where there's no other answer,
you hit somebody.
Should it be the ultimate punishment?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
if I disagree with you...
So if your kids completely disagree, what would you do in the end? Say, all right, fine. What I'm asking you...
But it's age-appropriate, it's circumstantial, it's contextual. As a principle, I don't agree with smashing
and should children be taken into care? Should they be taken into care because the mother can't control them? That is another...
Guys, we've got to go. I don't mean to... I prefer to speak to you two, but Bros are on the way.
Oh.
They're a bit more famous than you two, but thank you for involving us with the debate this morning. Very kind.